Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to Courtship, the podcast where I, Courtney Kurhayez, talk with my friends and family about the relationships and things like that in my favorite books, movies, TV shows, etc. So today I have with me my twin sister, Arden.
Hello.
I was going for you to be like, hello, Arden.
I almost do it every single time.
And we are going to be talking about one of my favorite books of all time. But before we get into that, I have a question for Arden. And that question is, what is your favorite book that's been posted on Wattpad?
Ooh. I haven't been reading on Wattpad a lot. Like full books I haven't been reading in a really long time.
But at some point, you must have.
I think I really like Between Takes.
Which has been published, FYI everyone, by Swoon Reads as
Love
Scene
Scene
Take
Take 2. There's got to be others because I used to read a lot in high school. But I don't know.
I loved Between Takes, so Love Scene Take 2. I also loved The Last Virgin Standing. I hated the ending. Hated it. Still mad about it all these years later.
Was that the one with the... Is that what I think it is?
That was the one where you shoved a character death in my face and I almost cried.
Yeah.
Because it hurt.
That was
But I've read a bunch of books that were originally on Wattpad after they've been published. But we are not going to be talking about those books today. We are going to be talking about She's With Me by Jessica Cunsolo, which was one of the first books published by Wattpad Books, which is Wattpad's own publishing company. I want to say a year or two ago.
I get advertised this book a lot, but I
You do?
read it. Well, they advertise it on Wattpad a lot.
Oh, okay.
I'll just go and scroll because I get bored and I'm like, I want to see what people.
Well,
are
I
reading.
first read it on Wattpad. Oh gosh, I want to say she was still posting the second book. There's 3 books. She was still posting the second book.
The third one's not out yet, though, right?
Well, it was out on Wattpad.
No, I know,
but she kind of rewrote a lot of it. It comes out as of right now, November 23rd, as of the recording of this podcast. It's November 23rd.
That's not bad.
Well, yeah, but I think the first 2 books came out like within 6-ish months of each other, so to wait like a year.
No judgment. I've been writing my book for years.
I know, but I'm impatient and want
too
it, especially
bad.
because she rewrote a lot of it. So now I'm like, oh shoot, I don't know what happens. What if they're not okay? But before we get any more into talking about the book, I will tell you what it is about. So on the back, it says, a new town, a new love, another chance to stay alive, which is a tagline that I use.
Spine.
Yes, we will talk about the aesthetic in a minute. But I use that tagline in the movie posters that I designed for this book. So it actually the series has been optioned for TV by Sony, which is kind of confusing, but essentially means they might make it into a TV show, is my understanding of it. Maybe. But that info was a long time ago, so I'm going to need them to get on that.
Remember with the testing trilogy that it had been...
A lot of books get optioned or picked up, and then nothing ever happens, which is very sad.
Really good. I think that would have been really good.
Yeah, it would have. But anyway, I made movie posters, so even though it would be a TV show, I just made movie posters for this first book and teaser posters.
That they make posters for TV shows, correct?
Yes, I know, but the aesthetic of it looks like a movie poster.
Just checking.
That is the aesthetic I went with. I went with a movie poster aesthetic, but I made teaser ones for each of the 3 books. But then what you will see on my website, CourtneyKurhayez.com, is all movie covers for the first book with different vibes that the book conveys to me that I try to convey to you guys.
What's the vibe?
Which will make more sense after I read the synopsis. But yeah, you can check that out on my website or any of my social media, which Twitter is @CKurhayez and TikTok and Instagram are @Courtney Kurhayez, which might be hard to spell, but I believe in you. You can figure it out. My name is in the title of this podcast. But anyway, so the rest of the synopsis goes, arriving in another new town, Amelia Collins vows to fit in and finish her senior year drama-free. Senior year of high school, by the way, is my interjection.
See, I assume that everything's college now.
But it's not.
I know.
All right, I'm going to keep reading. There can't be any mistakes. Staying under the radar is what keeps Amelia one step ahead of the man who is trying to find and destroy her. But when a group of students befriends her,
That escalated really quickly.
I know, and the front is like, oh, cute romance, and the back's like, are you gonna die? Anyway, I'm going to keep reading and then we can talk about it. But when a group of students befriends her and makes her feel safe and loved, Amelia struggles to maintain her distance, especially when faced with her feelings for Aiden Parker, whose piercing gray eyes and strength weaken her resolve. When Aiden's ex-girlfriend threatens Amelia in ways that make her easy to find, she has to act quickly. Feeling crushed by her desire for a normal life and not wanting to leave her friends behind, Amelia has an impossible choice to make between survival or the chance at real love. Side note, the formatting on the back of this book is like a little funky. Like an extra return was inserted. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I'm pretty sure this isn't what happens, but why does it sound like she kills the girlfriend?
That is not what
She's
happens.
gotta choose!
That is not what happens. She has to act quickly.
I'm just saying.
Caitlyn's getting taken out.
Okay, I have a question. So
Okay.
is this like a witness protection thing?
Well, I don't want to spoil the book,
Okay,
but it just might be.
I think everyone can infer
Yeah,
from
it
that.
Is,
I don't
it
know
is
that
a
she's
witness
running on her
protection
own.
thing, but I will not say what the event is.
How does that work? Because, like, if kids
So-
are on social media nowadays,
No,
we
so
think
she
they're
can't.
weird.
She can't. Well, yeah, I guess.
Which, honestly, I respect that, because it's a lot.
that they're weird, but she can't be in any videos. She on the internet. She can't be in anything because every time they move her, they change her name, they change her hair, they change.
I
all
saw
that stuff.
Princess Protection Program. I know how it works.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. Also, they didn't really do that for Princess Protection Program.
know.
She looked exactly the same with shorter hair and
Mhm.
normal clothes. But again, that is not the point. So, I adore Aiden Parker. I'm just going to say it. Okay?
Don't
I love
spoil it.
him. Huh?
His piercing gray eyes
His piercing gray eyes.
and his strength.
Well, I don't know about that part, but
That's what it said.
I know that's what it said. But
I was about to.
he's
I was
one
about
of
to be like,
my-
I don't know the
he's
guy.
one of my favorite book boyfriends.
I've never heard this before. For the record.
You've never heard that I adore
No.
him?
I've heard
You
that
know
you
this
adore
is-
these books.
Yes,
but I've
it's one of
not
my
heard
favorite
Aiden
books.
Parker, and I would have remembered because it's 2 first names.
Yes. Okay. Well, maybe I just refer to him as Aiden.
No.
Further proof.
I would have remembered that because it's too close to my name, so I tend to not like the name Aiden.
further proof that you don't listen when I talk because I've raved about this for
The
forever.
book, yes, but
Yes, but I love
no details.
Aiden.
I wasn't given details.
I really just think that you don't listen.
I wasn't given details.
I love how you're leaning into the camera because we also record this as a video podcast. As if I'm not
Dramatic
the one
effect.
editing it and I don't have
Dramatic
to do that.
effect.
Okay. Well, this is really, it's about Amelia. So the book is told from her perspective, obviously, because I just kind of said that. But there's actually a really big ensemble cast of characters because it's a really big, solid friend group. This is probably one of my favorite books that has a really solid friend group. There's
You don't see them nowadays.
Right. You don't see it as much. So there's, let's see who's in there. There's Amelia, obviously, Aiden. Then there's Mason, Noah, Julian, Anna. It's like Annalisa, but Anna, Charlotte, Chase, and then our villains, Caitlin and Ryan. I hate Ryan. I hate him. He sucks. Ryan. I love that vine though. But yeah, so Caitlin's a little bit typical, mean girl, which I'm like, but she's Caitlin.
What does that mean?
It means she's mean. She sucks.
Her name's Caitlin.
Can you please stop whispering into the
Sorry,
microphone?
her name's Caitlin.
And don't yell either.
Her name's Caitlin.
You act like you don't know how to use
I
a
know, right?
microphone.
I don't know. Because normally I talk like this.
But yeah, I love the cast of characters because Mason is
That's a good name, like the jar.
Mason. It's okay. I'm just going to move on from that cuz I don't know how to bring that one back around. But yeah, it's funny because there's when they're introing the characters to Amelia, they're like, yeah, those are the guys that they're not even
Guys.
players because they don't keep girls around long enough to be players.
Oh my god.
And it's like that's like the whole intro, but then you get to know them and you're like, hey, I like these guys. They're nice.
Isn't that, I don't know anything about dating culture, but isn't that the definition of a player?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that
Just
also.
like hella short term?
Yeah. I would think that would make them even more of a player.
I don't know though.
But
Couldn't be me.
Charlotte has her own definitions of what a player is. But yeah,
That's
so
interesting though.
so the relationship between Aiden and Amelia is interesting because she can't tell him anything about her,
That's
including her
wild.
real name.
You go home, girl. Lie.
Well, she has to for her own safety and protection of those around her,
Like I was valedictorian.
because it's just as much for her own safety as it is for the people that she's close to. So it's a big deal for her to be getting close to this group of people because she doesn't want them to get hurt.
Do you think you know anyone in witness protection? Because I know some people that share no details about their lives, and I can't tell if we're just not on that level. Or maybe there's something else going on.
This turned into a
I could
is
never.
someone
I'm
you
an
know in
oversharer.
witness protection?
Yeah, I'm an oversharer. I'm not, and I can't lie. So
If you're a character in this book, you'd be like, why don't you have social media, Amelia? That's freaking weird. Why are you weird about being on video? That's really weird.
say hello to
Like-
Snapchat.
She'd like disappear the next day. Be like, well, if Arden hadn't asked so many questions.
I feel that in today's day and age, it is impossible for you to not be on the internet in some degree if you're around our age, just even in the background of people's stuff.
See, well, maybe
What
that's a
if-
plot point in the book.
What if she
A point of
is
conflict.
at a sports game and gets on the Jumbotron?
Well, that I can confirm that does not happen
But what if it did?
in this first book.
In the
It's
first book?
possible, I suppose, that it could.
That would suck. I was on the Jumbotron once, so were you.
Thank you for telling me
Yep.
that story about my life that I already knew.
Like I said, I'm an oversharer. I could not be in this program.
But you've never actually read these books, have you?
No.
Despite my raving, you have not picked them up?
I have not.
Are you going to now?
Right now?
Yeah,
I have
start reading
No.
live on
Maybe
the
this
podcast.
summer. I would like to read it. It sounds interesting.
I mean, at this point, you should probably wait until the third book is closer to
That's
coming
true.
out.
That's true. I still have a bunch of Shadowhunter books to read.
There's always books to read.
And a book to write.
There's never a shortage of those. But I feel like the covers don't really say much about it. Like, you can tell
No.
that it's
but you would
a relationship
think then
is in there, like a
that
romantic
it would be more
one.
spy-y looking.
Yeah, but there's an emphasis on the romance part because it's really more so about
I
like
think
the
it's fine.
everyday. That's just, I mean, the plot is driven by the danger aspect too, but it's not a spy book. So why would it
I don't
look
know.
like a
I was
spy
just
book?
thinking government.
Government. The government is not really involved. Just 'cause she's in witness protection doesn't make it like. And they go to the FBI headquarters, and then they blah blah blah. The book does end on a cliffhanger though, so if you do start reading the book, just get the second one, because the end is like murder, maybe. I don't know.
Wait, you didn't mention a... Did you mention a chase?
Why is a character? Yeah, well, I read off their names. Why does the character being named Chase have?
That's hilarious.
Oh, because
That's so funny. What do you mean?
because
His name
someone,
is Chase and someone's chasing her?
yeah, but that has nothing to do.
I know, but it's funny. Also,
With it.
the name Chase is a strange name because it's like a word. Okay?
I never thought about it like that.
You don't... Oh, that's my friend Run. I don't think so.
That's my buddy Sprint.
Okay, I'm just saying. And we're just like, yeah, Chase is... I think Chase is a cool name, but if you actually
Yeah, I
think
like it
about
as a name.
it's a weird name.
Do we like Amelia? Amelia Collins. It's like supposed to
Isn't
be
there
a
somebody on Grey's?
standard name.
Amelia?
Maybe.
I think so. That's what I think of.
I actually don't.
So
think
if it's not, then that's weird that I think of that. But
I don't
think
know
so.
any Amelias.
yeah, isn't she with
in
what's
real
his
life?
face? Ken doll looking homie.
The guy that was on The Office.
He wasn't on.
She had like a
He
kid.
wasn't on The Office.
Yeah, in the later seasons he was. He was like a temp person or something.
Wait, I think you're right.
I am right. I'm saying it with confidence.
What's his name? I think it starts. My brain says Link, but that's not right. That can't be right.
No, I
It's
think
not-
it is.
Is it? Can I look it up?
Sure, you can look it up on your phone.
gonna look
It
it
has nothing to do with the book that we're talking
I know, but now I
about,
gotta
though.
know.
Again, not about the relationships, but the spines of these books are absolutely gorgeous. It's like a gradient. You can see it in the movie posters because I play off of that in the teaser ones. But I just think that they're
It is
absolutely
Link
gorgeous.
and Amelia. Look at me go. I got all this useful information in my head.
I mean, that's great, but it's not Aiden and Amelia.
I wasn't talking about them.
Okay, be honest. If you were in witness protection program and you were like kind of dating a really hot guy, would you tell him your real name?
Oh, it didn't occur to me.
I mean, there's more to it than that. He doesn't like just have to be hot. That's like the only requirement. Ding, ding, ding. Here you go.
I feel like I've done some pretty stupid things and said some stupid things in my life.
I would
But
be
I-
afraid that
I
they
would-
would
I
they would
think I'd-
call me that.
I think I would do it, and then I'd leave the next day. I'd be
be
like,
like,
oh my
"Is-
god, I can't believe I did that.
Like, is that my real name or is it another alias?
No, I'd just be super tired on the phone one night and be like, why? They call me, like, by the fake name. I'd be like, why'd you call me that?
Be like,
That's not my
"Whomst?
name.
Are you cheating on me?
That's wild. Honestly, I don't know. I would respond to Courtney, but I would not respond to any other name.
Because
'Cause
people call us the
Yeah.
wrong name often.
Mm-hmm. Even in a class where Courtney's not in. That happened to me the other day.
Really?
Yes.
In your media class? And it's even funnier because I've never had him as a
Figured it
teacher.
out halfway through. I was like,
Wait,
it's okay. I
Halfway
get
through
this
the
a
word
lot.
or halfway through the
yeah,
class?
No, halfway through the word.
I just think it's funny because I don't know that he's ever said my name.
Look, okay. I don't know why it like is embarrassing for me.
One of my friends texted me and
Because I also
spelled my
kinda
name
don't
with a
care
K.
because
So I
get
don't
that
know
a
if
lot.
like she has me in her phone incorrectly.
Plus, if people mix us up all the time, I don't know why. I think they just mix up the names. They're not
But they
mixing
call
us up.
they call me Courtney and you Courtney. They
Yeah,
don't ever call me
I
Arden.
don't exist apparently.
Are you
It's
in
never
witness
been
protection?
the other way around, and I feel like my name is different enough that you would think that if people are gonna remember one of our names, it would be my name, but they don't.
But alas, they're like, that kid doesn't talk enough. Her sister never shuts up.
That's
It must
also
be
true.
her.
I do talk a lot, just not all the time.
Okay,
You do talk a lot.
that's why I have a podcast.
Mm.
You know that book talk trend where it's like open to a random page on your bookshelf and like what's the first line?
Yes.
I keep opening to random pages, just flipping through these
And
books,
it's weird.
and it's like an inappropriate line. And it's not that it's an inappropriate book,
but it's an inappropriate line.
yeah, and I'm like, what's that line of dialogue? Oh, yikes.
No, thank you.
But it's weird for me when there's like names in books. That are my name, which is not in this book.
Wow, I
But-
can't relate except for that one horse book.
No,
As a child.
Mind Games.
I haven't read that one.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but it still uses
I
the
don't
name
know that I
Arden.
would like reading a book with my name.
I mean, like, main character energy for me today.
Yeah. I think I can have main character energy, just not 24/7.
Okay, I have a list of the characters up on my laptop. I want you to tell me who you think is, like, a thing, or, like, together, or who likes who.
Amelia and Aiden.
Wow, off to a strong start. Let's go.
I don't know anyone else's names. I can't read that.
We have Mason, Noah, Julian, Anna, Charlotte. What did I say?
Mason-
Charlotte.
wait, Mason,
Charlotte.
Noah, Julian. Who is next?
Anna.
Anna.
Annalisa.
Wait, is that one person? Is it
Yes.
Anna? Anna?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry. It's interchangeable.
Julian and Mason.
Those are both boys.
I said what I said.
Okay, well, hint, they're all heterosexual relationships.
Oh, that's a bummer. Come on, y'all. Okay, then Anna and Mason. No, Anna and Noah.
You're really botching this.
How would I know?
They're not going to know.
You're right.
You're just supposed to guess.
I'm guessing, and you're saying, oh, you're really botching this. Like, you're shaming me when you know I don't know the answers. I don't even know their names. Chase and Charlotte. Was that somebody?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The CCs? Mason and I don't know anyone else.
Who does he have a crush on? He doesn't have a partner.
I don't
because
know.
that is not
Julian.
No,
It wasn't
Amelia.
important to the plot. It just wasn't. All those Twilight memes.
That's funny. But it's Aiden and Amelia. Mason has a crush on Amelia, but that's a problem.
They're not going to work out because their names don't start with the same letter.
No, because Mason is Aiden's BFF, and Amelia and Aiden
know
are
what
a
they
thing.
say.
What?
Keep it to yourself. They don't say that.
Yeah, I don't really know
Personally,
where that.
I'd rather know.
I don't really know where that came from.
I was going to say something else, but I didn't.
All right. And then Chase has a crush on Charlotte, but does she feel the same? We don't know.
I'm going to
Is
say
that
no.
a problem?
It's a pretty big problem. Just going to say it. That leads to some tension. I don't want to know.
I'm just foreshadowing.
I don't want to know. Don't want to know.
Okay, I don't know that I have the rights to do that, or
Oh,
that
my
you
bad.
can just sing.
I don't want to know. It was a different song.
By, I'm sure that it was.
It was by Tarun 6. Tarun 6. It took me way too long to rearrange that.
The words around.
Tarun 6.
All right. Well, we are just over 20 minutes, which was my goal for today.
Goodbye.
Do you have any questions about the book that I could answer for you?
Do you have a question for me? And is it why do I never make direct eye contact with the camera?
Yeah, if I look at it, I'm looking at the screen next to it. I'm not really looking at it at the,
I don't
the lens
think so.
per
I
se.
think that the cover is pretty.
Yeah, I
The
really
aesthetic
like
is
the
good.
covers.
The
They're
vibe.
pretty.
Mhm.
It just doesn't really tell you what it's about. Even the
Tells you that
titles,
it
like
is a romance.
right, but there's like a duality to it because it's equal romance. Well, it's actually more so romance and their friendship dynamic, and then like the problems at this high school. It's like you have a crazy person after you. Well, now you're also going to have some high school drama that's going to make your life a lot harder than it should be. Okay, how would college
Sometimes
applications
it'd
work
be
for her,
like
though?
that.
Can she just not go until they find the guy?
I feel like the government could just be like, "Hey, sweaty, where you want to go?" And then
Okay,
get her
but
in.
they're not doing a real great
The
job.
rich people can do it.
Okay, well, the government is lacking then because Amelia, our girl, has had to move quite a few times in the last year.
Get
The
Jay
government-
Halstead on
the
it.
government be like, we're working on it. We're looking. And I'm like, shouldn't y'all be a little bit
We put
better
on
at
a
this?
hashtag. You know,
Yeah.
we're doing our best.
Yeah. Before it was taken off the air, we asked Live PD if they
Does
knew
she get a
anything.
bodyguard?
She does not. I'm sure that's a different
Bro,
book.
I would be so mad if I had
Yeah,
to go
she has
in witness
Aiden.
protection and they didn't give me
A cute bodyguard.
a bodyguard. I'd be like, what are my taxes paying for? Because the streets aren't getting fixed. So, anyway.
And the crazy guy's still after me.
Well,
Yeah. Well, and a weird thing too, is her relationship with her mom, which is strained for reasons that, a crazy person is after her child.
mhm.
But she's a flight attendant. So she's like never home, which I get is necessary for the plot because otherwise
yeah,
she couldn't
it's
be
hard to
running
write
around.
parents in
But
unless it's
if
that story.
if your kid was being chased after a crazy person, don't you think you'd like be a total helicopter parent?
Yes, but is it worse for them to be together because then they're easier to recognize?
Yeah, but I don't really know.
But
It's that.
I don't know the plot.
I know 'cause you didn't read the book.
I didn't read the book yet.
We'll make another podcast episode when Arden reads the series
See you next year.
in November. It comes out November 23rd.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm gonna read it first,
Mhm.
but then you can have a crack at it.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
It appears Arden is done with this episode, so we are going to wrap things up. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, or even if you didn't like it, please make sure to
Then
give it
boo
a
for
thumbs
you.
up or whatever you do for podcasts or on the video. And reach out to me on social media, any and all platforms, because I want to talk about these books clearly and the movies and all that stuff, and I hope you guys like the posters. So once again, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening, and we will chat with you next time.